Hello. In this in-class activity, we are going to determine the type of variables in the following questions. The number of rooms in your house. Now, the number of rooms can take the value of 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, so on and so forth. So these are all values, the number of rooms. So this is obviously a quantitative variable. And this is the result of counting 1, 2, 5, 10, so on and so forth. So they take integers, take whole numbers. You don't have a house that have 2.79 rooms. So they all take whole numbers or integers. So this is a quantitative variable. Also, it is a discrete quantitative variable. Different parts of St. Louis, such as South County, West County, and North County. These are different ways to describe places, regions of St. Louis. These regions, these districts are different in kind. So this is a qualitative variable. The percentage of university professors who got a raise over 3% last year. Now this percentage could be 15.3%, could be 34.56%, so on and so forth. These are all numbers. So this is a quantitative variable. In addition, these numbers, these percentages are not result of counting. These values are the result of calculation using some existing numbers. So this is a continuous variables. They have decimals. You can increase the number of decimals to give more precision. So this is a continuous quantitative variable. The job categories in a company, such as CEO, senior manager, accountant, computer specialist, elevator operator, secretary, so on and so forth. These different job categories are obviously things that are different in kind. So this is a qualitative variable. The amount of growth of trees during a period of 3 years that can take values such as 5.6 inches, 3.4 inches, or 6.13 inches. These are all values. So this is a quantitative variable. Also, 5.6, 3.4, they all have decimals. You can also increase the number of decimals to give precision, and these numbers are the result of measurement. You really have to go out there to measure how much a tree has grown in a period of 3 years. So this is a quantitative variable. Also, this is a continuous variable. The type of transportation a person uses, such as a bus, subway, car, bicycle. These are different types of transportations. There are different categories of things. They are different in kind. So this is a qualitative variable. The highest educational level attained, such as high school, a associate degree, a college degree, a master's degree, a Ph.D., so on and so forth. These are different categories of education degrees. So they are different kind of things. They are different in kind. So this is a qualitative variable. Now you may think that in different degrees of education, there are actually some quantities involved. For example, high school would involve 12 years of education, and a associate degree involved 14 years of education, and a college degree involved at least 16 years of education, a master degree involved 18 years of education, and so on and so forth. There are some, quantitative measures there, and why you call this qualitative variable. Yes, for different degrees in education, there are different quantities that are involved, such as different years in education. But the key word here is implicit. Those number of years are not explicitly contained in the labels of such as high school or associate degree and college degree. They are implicit. Those numbers are implicitly contained in those categories. But here, when we look at the name, the labels of those categories, those quantitative information, those quantitative values are not explicitly included, not explicitly part of the label. For those labeled themselves, this is a qualitative variable. And just the way that the question is asked, and also the way the label is presented, this is a qualitative variable. Now, we can compare this with the next question. By the way, that question is asked, and also the way the different categories is presented. The number of years spent in getting your education, 12 years, 14 years, 16 years, 18 years, 22 years, so on and so forth. These are now explicitly expressing the values, the numbers, and quantities, and therefore this is a quantitative variable. Also, those quantities are the result of counting 12, 14, 16. These are the result of counting. They take integers, they're all whole numbers. So this is a discrete quantitative variable. Social Security numbers such as 1, 4, 3, 7, 8, 7, 8, 4, 0, so on and so forth. On appearance, this variable takes numerical values, but this is not a quantitative variable. A social security number is just a different way to give a person an identity, a label, a code. It's just like your name. Your name, such as John Smith, is a qualitative variable. A social security number performs the same function to give each person a label, a code. A person with a social security number that starts with 1 compared with another person who has a social security number that starts with 3, it does not mean that the first person has less human attributes than the second person. And you cannot add up people's social security number to have a total or aggregate or average of social security number over a group of people, and this type of a calculation is just meaningless. So those different numbers are basically different way to give people a label, an identity. So this is a qualitative variable. Hair colors. We know hair colors such as brown, black, red, blonde are different categories. So hair colors is a qualitative variable. But now we use numbers to represent different categories. For example, we use 1 to represent brown, 2 to black, 3 for red, 4 to blonde. Now, can we say now hair color is a quantitative variable? The answer is no. Again, these numbers are simply different way to give people different labels. The person who have blonde hair, therefore a number 4, does not mean that this person has twice as much as attributes in his hair than a person who has black hair, therefore this person would have number 2. So those kind of comparison is meaningless. In the same way, you cannot add up those numbers that represent a different hair to come up with an average hair color for a group of people, and this type of a calculation is simply absurd. So hair color as represented by numbers is still a qualitative variable. I hope this helped. I see you next time. Goodbye.